How's everybody doing? My name's Mike from Roots Canine Training, and today we're going to be feeding Sam some food. So as you can hear my dog's already eating, and now is when I'm going to go ahead and give this dog his food. We see he's calm. So I actually held the food from him. I slide it in, I shut the door and let him go to his business. Now I walk out of the room and I let him do his thing. Now my dog eating the food right there is going to make him want to eat. If I watch him too much, he may not eat. So that's why I'm out of the room. So my dog eating is going to make him want to eat. And now you can see he's eating. I don't want to interrupt him too much because he may not eat. So again, we slide the food in and we go away, we let them eat. I let my dog do his thing, right? My dog's a normal, stable, healthy dog. So my dog has this awesome appetite. When other dogs come over, that's what we use to stimulate their appetite. Some of the other things we do is we also, we take them outside every time we walk them, and we start to create a healthy appetite for the dog. So as you can see, he's eating. The other thing is we also can't feed the dog too much. A lot of owners will overfeed the dog. That is very typical. And then you have a dog like this that is very anxious, does not want to eat, right? So the only way to get them to eat is to start have stability in their life. We teach them obedience, then we can get the behavior modification. We walk the dog 3-4 times a day to use the bathroom outside. We start controlling every aspect of the dog's life. And we feed them again. We don't give the dog 3 cups of food. He's a tiny dog. We give him 3/4 of a cup of food 1 time a day, and that's enough that he can finish. And if he can finish that, then we will add more, and we'll look at the dog, look at the weight, and determine whether the dog needs more or less food. And that's what you need to do with your dog. You can't just blanket feed the dog a bunch of food or leave the food down all day. So if you leave the food down all day for the dog, you see how he's going after her there? If you leave the food down all day for the dog, then the dog will have no appetite simply because the food's available to the dog all the time. So if I can make the food only available once a day, and I also remember I'm using my dog to get him to eat. He hears my dog eating, sees him, now he wants the food, but he can't get his food, so he has to go after his own food. So this is a very great technique we use to get dogs to eat their food, and it works almost 100% of the time. Some dogs are so anxious, no matter what you do, they need time, and eventually they start eating more. But as you see, he just needed a little guidance from me, a little encouragement from my dog, and he needed structure. Structure is what's going to make your dog stable, not so anxious. If you slide food into a crate with a dog that's super anxious, the dog won't even see the food. There's a lot of dogs that don't even care about food, so they'll just sit there and stare at you because they want to get out of the crate. So that's why we have them in the other room. We let them hang out by themselves and eat. And they're together eating like a pack, and that's what we want. We want the dog to finish the food. We don't want the dog to leave food. We want the food should be done. You should be feeding your dog just enough food that they finish the whole thing. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. And it took us less than a week to get that from the dog. So if your dog's having trouble eating, make sure your food's not available all the time. Make sure you make it a once a day thing available to the dog. And you're also doing training with them and actively taking them outside and getting walks in with them, because that's how you're going to create an appetite.